Canberra is a place of big ideas. As Australia's capital city, we look to lead. We're always looking for imaginative solutions to local, regional, national and global challenges. Capital Metro is a light rail project that will transform Canberra. The first stage of a Canberra-wide network will run from the centre of the city along Northbourne Avenue to the northern suburb of Gungahlin. Capital Metro will offer convenient, safe and sustainable transport while creating substantial community value through the modernising of infrastructure and property development along the route.
When you think of Canberra, you think of a capital city like other great capitals of the world, Ottawa in Canada, you think of Washington DC. All of the capitals around the world are very keen on moving people around, and because they are a centre of government, they do tend to attract a lot of visitors, a lot of business visitors, a lot of tourists to those centres.
The great glue in just about every world city is fine public transport. Really tremendous public transport that's efficient, that's quick, that goes where you want to go, that's a pleasure to ride on, that you don't have to waste too long.
We're on the cusp of something really amazing in Canberra, and I think there's a generation of Canberrans who are they're tremendously excited about what's in store.
As we enter our second century and the city continues to prosper, we need to focus on the right solutions for Canberra.
Capital Metro is delivering Canberra's first light rail system. The government has committed to light rail having tracks in the ground by the middle of 2016, and Capital Metro Agency is the agency that's delivering that vision for the government.
Light rail is perfectly suited to Canberra. We've got these grass centres of the road, and it was actually designed to have it that way.
I think Walter Belly Griffin had always had that design plan in mind, that rail, some form of rail, would connect our communities.
He was ahead of his time, and he was ahead of his time in so many respects, but he recognised that on the major approach roads such as Northbourne Avenue and other major avenues, that he needed to have the generosity of space to accommodate whatever that form of transport was.
Capital Metro is a solution to one of Canberra's future challenges.
Everybody's aware that congestion is crippling our cities. You know, the cost, the own government's cost it's $15 billion a year against the Australian economy, the cost of congestion. Everywhere we see in the cities, people no longer want to sit in their cars in great long car parks. They want to use public transport networks. No matter where we go and where we discuss rail today in Australia, light rail comes up in the conversation.
The Capital Metro project will apply state-of-the-art technology and create thousands of jobs during construction.
It's far more than the public transport story. It's what light rail does to the areas around where light rail is built.
Rather than just thinking of a Northbourne Avenue corridor, you need to think of a total licensing plan for Canberra.
It is important from the outset that we have a sense of what we're trying to create, what are the opportunities and what are the values, not just in monetary terms but also in social terms, environmental terms.
As this first stage of light rail is being implemented by Capital Metro, the ACT government is doing wider studies to determine where, when and how light rail will be extended to the rest of Canberra.
It's changing the way we live. The long-term vision is saying, what's the city going to be look like? What's the city that we're going to give our children in the future? It's not what's here today, because what is today is not sustainable. We have to change, and light rail in particular is one of the mediums that will help that change.
The Capital Metro project will rejuvenate Northbourne Avenue and the city and forms part of several major urban renewal ventures, including the City to the Lake project, the world-class urban waterfront precinct that extends the city centre towards Lake Burley Griffin and connects it to its central parklands.
One of the things that's so exciting about Canberra right now is that there's so much opportunity for the city as a whole, and the city to lake is inspiring so many people's dreams. The idea that you could create so much more residents around the lakeside, and then a whole avenue of leisure so that people spend more of their leisure time down at the lake.
Capital Metro and City to the Lake are intrinsically linked. There's almost a symbiotic relationship there that one breathes life into the other.
We have learnt lessons from the past and have now set the course for a sustainable city that lives comfortably within its beautiful environment. With a world-class public transport system, tree-lined avenues and active, connected communities. A city that will welcome people from across Australia and around the world. A city dedicated to sustainable transport and economic development. Canberra, a city of brilliant possibilities.
Authorised by the ACT Government.